Samsung did say they're trying to unify their lineup. I thought it was just a design thing, but I guess it includes removing accessories from the box. So yes, if you buy the Galaxy A14, you would need to buy a charger as well. Anyway, this is the version we got in Nigeria. I got mine in light green, and yeah, seeing it in person, the back of the phone does look very similar to the S23. It has a matte textured finish on the back. The Samsung logo is engraved on it. So if you swipe your finger across, you can actually feel the Samsung text. Going with a matte finish means you get 0 fingerprint marks, but you do get a little bit of fingerprint smudges. It's also a very thick phone, thicker than the A13 I believe. We've got all the ports and buttons in the same place. The fingerprint reader is on the power button, above that is the volume keys. To the left of the phone we have the SIM/SD card tray. You have support for 2 4G nano SIMs and an SD card. They might have removed the wired earphones from the box, but we still get a headphone jack. Next to that is a microphone. There's a second one at the top. Then we have the Type-C port. Note that the cable that comes in the box is a Type-C to Type-C cable, so you have to buy a Type-C charging brick if you don't have one. The next to the Type-C port is the only speaker on here. It's pretty loud though. We knew that the bezels on the A14 were going to be bigger than last year, but seeing it in person, damn, they are ginormous. Like, budget phones don't get super slim edge-to-edge displays, we know that, but this is a lot of bezel. Significantly more bezel than its predecessor. Why? I have no idea, but if you can ignore that, it's a pretty decent looking display. It's a 6.35 inch 60Hz 1080p LCD display, but just like the A13, Samsung did some display tuning magic and these LCD displays look really punchy and vibrant, so the few hours I've spent with it has been fine. The bezels would throw you off at the beginning, but because the display is vibrant, colors are on point, you would be immersed in what you're doing on the phone and sort of forget the ginormous bezels. It appears to be a triple camera setup on the rear, a main, ultra-wide and a macro. The main should be 50 megapixels, and with the few pictures I've taken, I think they're okay. It seems to be the same main sensor as on the A13, and I think those had one of the best cameras at that price, so this continues that. In the full review, I'll be testing out more of the cameras, trying out different lighting conditions, night mode, video performance. So if you don't want to miss that video, make sure you subscribe so that way, you're the first to see it when it drops. The A14 comes with an Exynos processor. It's the same processor as the A13, the Exynos 850. My unit came with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. It feels more fluid than the A13. I've only had this for a couple hours, still have apps to download, so many tests to do, but I would say for now, it's looking really good. Exynos just might be okay. The A14 comes with Android 13 on top of One UI Core version 5.1. Even though this is the core version of One UI, it still gives you a lot of customization options. There are a bunch of new wallpapers, Material U is still here, and navigating the phone has been fine so far. Yes, there are still some little delays here and there, but it's expected as this is a budget phone. As with typical budget phones, you have a big 5000 mAh cell inside, so battery life should be good. I've put my SIM in it, so I'll be daily driving this for the next week and we'll know just how good the battery life is. So this was more of a first impressions, quick review type of video, but the full review is still coming. But I wanted to find out, is there anything specific about the A14 that you wanted me to test out? So just leave a comment if you have one so that I could include it in the review. This retails for 116,900 Naira for the base model. And apparently it's cheaper than the A13 from last year. But does that make it a good deal? How different is it from the A13? Questions like these would be answered in the full review. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you when you see me.